Have you been looking for a show that covers everything about the Montreal Canadiens? Have you diehard fans been looking for a show? Or even just people wanting to learn about the Montreal Canadiens and be able to do it via a show? Well, you've come to the right place. Hab Opinion is your one-stop weekly show that covers all the news and notes on the Montreal Canadiens, being injuries, playoff pictures, all the stats, and upcoming schedules. Well, you've come to the right place. It's Hab Opinion, and today it's episode 9 of Hab Opinion. So, I'm your host, as always, Armand Klizovich. Now, we have a few big topics to talk about this week. We're going to discuss the scary injury of PK Subban that occurred last night, the recent play of Alex Goalchynuck, and the possible return of Carey Price next week, and what that means to the Montreal Canadiens. So, let's start here. PK Subban last night, late in the game, late in the third period, was carted off on a stretcher after the apparent coincidental hit by Alexei Emelin. I know all you have fans are thinking, not again. This is the last thing we need. But as of this morning, I have heard sources from NHL, from Hab's Twitter sites, that PK has been released from the hospital with a non-serious neck injury. Now, what does that mean? That he's okay to play? Is he going to be playing tomorrow night? Which, if he is, that'd be great, because he has not missed a game yet. So yeah, I know we're all praying for PK, praying for our season to, somehow, we get on a great stretch of wins and make the playoffs. So, speaking of playoffs, we gotta mention that the return of Carey Price may be upon us. I have heard rumors that maybe he'll be back next week. That would be great. I think that with Price back in the net, we're a different team. Nothing against Connor, but Price is he's Price. If he's the normal Carey Price, I think we definitely really have a strong shot at the playoffs, even with not that many games remaining left in the season. But we got a shot. We got a really good shot if Price comes back. Even if Price doesn't come back, we still got a shot. But I think that if Price comes back, it's a huge move, as I said. It's going to be a huge point for Montreal. Another big player in the lineup. Somebody back from injury. Speaking of injuries, Brendan Gallagher's down now for another couple weeks. So, with this, really gives us an opportunity to show what we have down the minors. McCarron's up. Machu. I know Lucas Lesio played this week. But it's really going to be a really good time to see what we have down in the minors, see what we have to build with for next year. I think one thing that we've already established is that Goalchynuck needs to be a center next year. 6 goals in 3 games as a center. So I think he needs to stay there. I think that's without a doubt. So yeah, one thing that I was really happy to see last night was Mike Brown getting into a fight. That's what we brought him in for. I always said that Montreal needed an enforcer this year that we never had this year, and that's what he did last night. We had 2 fights, Patterson and Brown, both dropping the gloves last night. But it's gonna be as I said last week, it's going to be a good finish to the year. We got 2 straight wins so far. Dallas, now Buffalo. Big games this weekend against Minnesota. Next week, Buffalo and Florida. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this year ends up, who comes back, and if we make the playoffs, how far can we go? Can we win the Stanley Cup? I think we can. But that's just me. So I think that's all to cover for this week. We're only 6 or 7 points out of a playoff spot, so keep your heads up, high Habs fans. We still have a chance. And until next week, go Habs, go.